Hello students, today we'll begin with the third stanza of the poem Break, Break, Break. I'll first read out the stanza to you. And the stately ships go on to the heaven under the hill, but oh for the touch of a vanished hand and the sound of a voice that is still. First let us understand the meanings of some difficult terms in this particular stanza. And the stately ships go on. Stately means grand, majestic ships. To the heaven under the hill. Heaven here means the port or the harbor. But oh, for the touch of a vanished hand. Vanished hand here refers to the hand of his dead friend Arthur Hallam. And the sound of a voice that is still. Voice that is still means that the voice of his friend will not be heard ever again. It has been silenced by death. Now let us understand the meaning of these lines. Now here we see that the poet is viewing the scenes around him, and he observes that the ships are coming and going as usual. They are continuing with their journey as usual. But the poet's friend is dead. He can no longer hear his voice or feel the touch of his hand. Life will never again be the same for him. We can also interpret these lines in this manner, that the poet sees the stately ships moving to their heaven under the hill. It means that the ships are moving to the port. The ships seem content with the destination. It means that the ships, at least after the journey, the ships have a particular destination, a particular place where they can rest, where the ships can rest. But the poet has no such place where he can find solace or rest. And the mounded grave is no pleasant heaven for him, in contrast with the harbor which is there for the ships. The end here means the end of activity. There is no more hand to touch, no more voice to hear for the poet. Again here the poet is caught up in his internal thoughts, his memory of the mourned figure of Arthur Hallam, overshadowing what the speaker views around him. Again I told you there is a contrast between the outer world and the inner sentiments, the inner feelings of the poet. Now there is one thing worth quoting here. The critic Ed Sofer has interpreted the contrast in this stanza in these words. To quote him, the stateliness of the ships contrasts with the poet's emotional imbalance, and the ships move forward to an attainable goal, while the poet looks back to a vanished hand and a voice that is still. So, all in all, in this particular stanza, we see that there is a contrast between the activities going on all around, where the poet is standing and viewing the scenic beauty all around him and the activities around him, and there he observes the movement of the majestic, the grand ships, and he feels that at least the ships, after a long journey, have a particular destination, a place where they can go and rest for some time and then continue with their journey. But contrary to this, the poet does not have any such place, any such destination where he can find some kind of rest, where he can feel himself relieved of his grief. Then he says that he is mourning the loss of his friend. He won't be ever able to feel the touch of the hands of his friend Arthur Hallam. Neither would he be able to hear the voice of his friend ever again, as his friend is lost in the night of death. His voice is still, the poet's friend is dead, he is no more in this world. With this, we finish the third stanza of the poem.